Everyone has a story. This is mine. It started when I was 10 years old, when I was diagnosed with a rare hip disease known as Lake Perthes. The result is I have a deformity in my right hip, and arthritis which will ultimately require I endure a hip replacement. It was a difficult time for someone who was so active. I enjoyed running. I excelled at it. The doctor said I wouldn't be able to run or play competitive sports. Very few pictures were taken during this time. After my treatment, I attempted to become active again. I won my age division in a 10K for 12 and under without any training whatsoever. I just woke up and ran. I ran in middle school and high school and won several races and earned some awards. My dad used to tell me it was all mental. I still have the note he left on a paper plate before I left for school. Alas, my junior year of high school, my hip couldn't take the pounding. My competitive days were over. One day at home, my wife and I watched an Ironman special on TV, and she commented how we should buy some bikes and do triathlons. I kind of shrugged it off, but a year later, we were bike shopping. To synopsize the disease, the blood stops flowing in the hip region for an unknown reason. As a result, the femur detaches itself from the hip socket in search of the nutrients the blood provides. At an unknown time, the blood will return to the hip socket, and the femur will re-establish itself in the joint. Because of the uncertainty, it's imperative it gets aligned correctly. I experienced stiffness in my leg, making it challenging to run on the playground. It eventually culminated with me being unable to walk home from school and my mom coming to pick me up. I used crutches for 6 months until they were able to diagnose me. From there, I was placed in traction and fitted for a leg brace that I used for 2 years. The closest comparison is for those that have seen the movie Forrest Gump, when a young Forrest is seen walking with a similar contraption early in the movie. After my first Olympic distance triathlon, I decided I wanted to run a marathon to prove to myself that you can do anything you put your mind to. The only difference was I decided to swim 2.4 miles and bike 112 miles before the marathon. I wanted to be an Ironman. The amount of planning, dedication, time, and focus to train for an Ironman I drastically underestimated. When you have a job where you travel a fair amount and often to international destinations, it makes it all the more complex. It completely takes over your life. If you aren't working, eating, or sleeping, you're training. There were many a days I woke up at 4:30 a.m. to train. I'd go to work and train, only to come home and have my wife, Christina, already in bed with my dinner waiting for me in the microwave, to do it all over again the following day. In April of 2013, my dad was diagnosed with an extremely rare type of cancer. Only around 500 people get diagnosed with it a year in the United States. My training took on a new life. I no longer wanted to do my Ironman for me, but it was also for him.
my dreams raise up and dance with me. Now and forever, I'm your
"16 years later, that paper plate my dad left me was true more than ever. It would all be mental. often asked what it feels like to be an Ironman. My answer is simple, really. It doesn't take being one of 350,000 people in the world to know that every day someone is doing something amazing and incredible. Anything is possible. At a certain point in the race, something funny happened. It was no longer about me or finishing for my dad. It was about everyone else. All the people who played a role along the way and supported me. People all across the country. I couldn't let them down. They were waiting to see or hear about me crossing the finish line. That is what it was all about. I was extremely fortunate to have the support system I did, my friends and family. This is my story. But everybody has one.